2 p.m. So student now can go for a lunch and come back at 2 p.m. Okay, so see you all later.
I've been flipping pages since I could remember. That told me I had to be within the lines of 2 degrees and 9 to 5. And I've been working after work since last September. Working after work, yeah. I stay up late on the weekdays. I never tell when we say. I never want to look back and wish I could have been. I've never got no regret. The hours I've been putting in. So take a chance on faith. Your mind's a ballast place. So take a chance on faith. So take a chance on faith. So take a chance. I never want to look back. Take a chance on faith. Take a chance on faith. No more running, no more running, no more chasing. No more running now, I'm running now.
Okay, so it's 2 p.m. now, so welcome back everyone. So thank you for joining this introduction of acupuncture by Dr. Tu Wenzan. She's Associate Chief TCM Physician of the second affiliated hospital from Wenzhou Medical University. So now without further ado, let us welcome Dr. Tu. Okay, so I pass the stage to you, Dr. Tu.
Hi everyone, welcome to our class. Today we'll introduce acupuncture and moxibustion. Traditional Chinese medicine refers to a broad range of medical practice. For example, herbal medicine, acupuncture, moxibustion, massage, exercise, and dietary therapy. So acupuncture and moxibustion are an important component of TCM. It includes 4 aspects: the meridian and critical acupoints, manipulating techniques, and clinical treatment. As we know, acupuncture and moxibustion are very popular among China. Now, it has accepted by many other countries as well. The formulation of acupuncture therapy started in Neolithic age. At that time, the Asian people used 扁食 to treat the disease. 食 in Chinese means stone, 扁, a special shape. So, in ancient China, people use 扁食 to press on the certain old point. to treat the disease. Afterward, needles made of bamboo or bone were applied. With the development of industry, the metal needles were applied. For example, the metal needle made of gold, silver, and other materials. Nowadays, stainless steel needles are widely used. Moxibustion. Moxibustion, we use fire. Sometimes we use some Chinese herb, for example, the moxia. The moxia leaves. We will ignite the moxia leaves to treat the disease. Here is a model of acupuncture model. It's made in Ming Dynasty about 700 years ago. Okay, now I will introduce the first chapter, General Introduction of Meridian and Credit Roll. As we know, meridians and credit rolls is an important component of theoretical system of traditional Chinese medicine. So it's a basic. The meridians and credit rolls are pathways along which qi and blood circulate through the whole body. The meridians are the main trunks, and the credit rolls are the branches. In Chinese, the meridian means jing and credit roll means luo. They are the pathway that transport qi and blood to nourish the whole body. Qi is an important term. Qi, like the gas, like the atmosphere. It is a sort of refined substance full of vigor. It plays a protein and activity role. Qi in the human body is composed of two parts. The first is congenital qi and acquired qi. The congenital qi is inherited from our parents before birth, like gene. And the acquired qi is delivered from the food. When the stomach and the spleen, in TCM, the stomach and the spleen is digestive system. So the cereal essence transferred by the spleen and stomach. And another acquired qi is from the fresh air. Inhaled by the lung, it's the atmosphere. So here is the qi. So qi and blood transport in the meridian and credit rolls. So meridian and credit roll is different from the nerve, the vessel. It's a special term. Meridian. Meridian means go through or pass. It's the main trunks, very thick and large. It runs upward and downward, interior and exterior within the body. Meridians include 5 parts. First one is the 12 regular meridian. The 12 regular meridian include in meridian, and yang meridian, and the hand of foot. So in the 12 regular meridians, there are six of hand and six of them is foot. Another meridian is called the 8th extra meridian, and some small one is the 12 divergent meridian, the 12 muscle region, and the cutaneous region. Collateral. Collateral in Chinese means 络脉络. Collateral is smaller than the meridian. They're like a neck. The branch of the meridian, thinner and smaller than meridian. They run transversely and superficially, crisscross, and next the whole body. Collaterals include 3 parts. The 15 collaterals. The small one is a miniature collaterals and the superficial collaterals. The 12 meridians. The name of the 12 meridians consists of 3 facts: hand or foot, yin or yang, zhang or fu organ. So the 12 regular meridians can be divided into 6 meridians of hand and 6 meridians of foot. The name of the 12 regular meridians are long meridian of hand, Tai Yin, pericardial meridian of hand, Ju Yin, heart meridian of hand, Shao Yin, and large intestine meridian of hand, Yang Ming, Sanjiao meridian of hand, Shao Yang, small intestine meridian of hand, Tai Yang, spleen meridian of foot, Tai Yin, liver meridian of foot, Ju Yin, and kidney meridian of foot, Shao Yin, stomach meridian of foot, Yang Ming, gallbladder meridian of foot, Shao Yang, the bread meridian of foot, Tai Yang. The 12 regular meridians are distributed symmetrically at the left and the right sides of hand and face, trunk and forelimbs, and go through the whole body. The 6 yin meridians are distributed on the medial aspects of forelimbs and abdominal regions. The 3 yin meridians of the hand are distributed on the medial aspect of the obliques, while the 3 yin meridians of foot on the medial aspect of the long legs. The 6 yang meridians mostly travel along the lateral aspect of foot or forelegs, hand and trunk. The 3 yang meridian hand are distributed on the lateral aspect of the obliques, while the 3 yang meridian foot on the lateral aspect of the long legs. So, the yin meridian can divide into Tai Yin, Ju Yin, and Shao Yin. Tai Yin meridian distribute in the anterior border of the body. Ju Yin meridian in the medial border, and the Shao Yin meridian distribute on the posterior border. Yang Ming meridian distribute on the anterior board, and Shaoyang meridian distributes in the medial board. Taiyang meridian distributes in the posterior board. So the 12 regular meridian divided into 6 yang meridian and 6 yin meridian. 6 yang meridian can be divided, one is on hand, one is on foot, 3 on hand, 3 of them on foot. And the yin meridian can be divided into 3 yin, Tai yin, Ju yin, and Shao yin. On the hand, it's the long meridian of Tai yin, and the pericardial meridian of Ju yin, and heart meridian of Shao yin. And on foot, the first one is 3 meridian of Tai yin, the liver meridian of Ju yin, and kidney meridian of Shao yin. Here is the main course of the 3 meridian of the hand. The first one is the long meridian of hand, Tai yin, from chest to the hand, the big toe of hand. Next one is the pericardial meridian of hand, Ju yin, in the medial board of body, from chest then to the third finger. The third one is the heart meridian of hand, Shao yin, from chest then to the fifth finger. Here's a picture of the 3 yin meridian of foot. The first one is 3 meridian of foot, Tai yin, from the big toe of the foot, then to the chest. In the anterior aspect of the body. Next one is the liver meridian of foot, Ju yin, in the median side of the body, from the second toe of foot, then travel ended on the chest. The last one is the kidney meridian of foot, Shao yin, from the fifth toe of foot, then to the chest, Here is the 6th yin meridian of foot. Next is the yang meridian. So the yang meridian located in the lateral aspect of the body. 3 yang meridian of hand, 3 yang meridian of foot. The yang meridian on the hand, one is the large intestine meridian of Yang Ming. Next is Sanjiao meridian of Shaoyang. And last one is the small intestine meridian of Taiyang. On the foot, one is stomach meridian of foot Yang Ming, the gallbladder meridian of foot Shaoyang, and the urinary bladder meridian of foot Taiyang. So here is the main course of the yang meridian of hand. The first one is large intestine meridian of hand, Yang Ming, from the index finger, then to the hand, at the anterior side of the body. Next one is Sanjiao meridian of hand, Shaoyang, Then the small intestine meridian of hand taiyang. Here is a picture of the yang meridian of the foot. First one is stomach meridian of foot, yang ming. Then the gallbladder meridian of shao yang on the lateral side, and the broad meridian of foot taiyang on the back, on the posterior side of the body. So the 12 regular meridians include 6 yin meridian of hand, 6 yang meridian of hand, 6 yin meridians of foot, and 6 yang meridian of foot. The 6 yin meridian of hand is lung meridian of hand tai yin, pericardial meridian of hand jue yin, heart meridian of hand shao yin, and the 3 yang meridian of hand is large intestine meridian of hand yang ming, sanjiao meridian of hand shao yang, and small intestine meridian of hand tai yang. 3 yin meridian of foot include spleen meridian of foot tai yin, liver meridian of foot jue yin, kidney meridian of foot shao yin, and 3 yang meridian of foot include stomach meridian of foot yang ming, gallbladder meridian of foot shao yang, and bread meridian of foot tai yang. All the meridians are not separately, they link with each other. The 3 yin meridian of hand run from chest to the hand. They connected with the 3 yang meridian of hand. And the 3 yang meridian of hand run from hand to head. The 3 yang meridian of foot run from hand to foot. And the 3 yin meridian of foot run from foot to the abdomen or chest. So the 12 regular meridians link with each other, like the circle, forming a cyclical system without end. The qi and broad originate from the medial jiao, then start from the lung and ends on the liver after one circle through the body, and finally return to the lung. Here is here's the picture of the circulation of the qi and blood in the 12 regular meridian. So the qi and blood originate from the sanjiao like the chest, then start from the lung and from chest to the run to the index finger. They're connected with large intestine meridian. Then the large intestine meridian started from the index finger, then to the hand. In the nose, it's connected with stomach meridian. Then stomach meridian runs from hand, then to the foot. In great toe, it's connected with spleen meridian. Then the spleen meridian from the foot, from the great toe of foot, then to the chest. It will connected with the heart meridian. Then the heart meridian runs from chest to the third finger of the hand. Then it connected with small intestine meridian. Then small intestine meridian runs from the hand to the head. In the inner cancers, it will connected with bread meridian. Then the bread meridian goes from hand to small toe of the head of the foot, connected with kidney meridian. And then here is a circle. The 12 regular meridian connected with the 脏腑 organs interiorly and exteriorly. For example, lung, pericardium, heart, spleen, liver, and kidney are 脏 organs. 脏 organs belong to the yin organ. And the large intestine, 三焦, small intestine, stomach, gallbladder, and broad bladder are 腑 organs. 腑 organs are the yang organs. Here is the 12 regular meridians. And then I will introduce the 8 extra meridians. The 8 extra meridians refer to those meridians have a specific function and include 都 meridian, 任 meridian, 冲 meridian, 带 meridian, 阴桥, yang 桥, 阴纬 and 阴阳纬 meridians. So here are the 8 extra meridians. The character of the 8 extra meridian. None of the 8 extra meridian pertain to zang of organs. They are not interior related. They do not have related hand or foot medias. Some of them do not have yin-yang aspects. And apart from 都 meridian and 任 meridian, which has their own acupoints, the other 6 meridian share their points with the 12 regular meridian. Here is the 都 meridian of the 8 extra meridian. 都 meridian run along the midline of the back, along the spinal column. So it was called the C of the yang meridian. As we know, the back is yang, the abdomen is yin. So the 都 meridian is on the midline of the back, so it was called the C of the yang meridian. It will regulate the qi of all yang meridians. Another meridian is 任 meridian. The 任 meridian runs along the middle of the abdomen or the chest. So here is the C of the yin meridian. The 任 meridian regulates the qi of all yin meridians. Okay, here is the mean industry of the meridian and collateral. Then I will introduce the acupoint. Acupoint are the specific seats through which the qi of the zang organs and the meridian is transported to the body surface. Acupoint in Chinese means 输穴. 输 means transportation or transmission. 穴 means hole or means hole. So 输穴 or acupoint is the special seats of which the qi of zang organs and meridians transported to the body surface. The acupoints can be divided into 3 parts. The first one is the acupoints of 14 meridians. As we know, in the 12 regular meridian and in the 8 extra meridian, 2 meridian, and REM meridian, they have acupoints. So the points of those 14 meridian means 14 meridian acupoints. And some extraordinary points and Ashi points. The 14 meridian points, as we know, the 12 regular meridians and the 2 and the REM meridians, they have acupoints, so-called points of the 14 meridians. They have its own name and location. So there are 361 acupoints in the 14 meridian acupoints. And other points is extraordinary points and Ashi points, like something like the trigger points. Ashi points is when the patient feel here is painful. So he said, oh yes, it's here. So it means Ashi points, like the trigger points. Here's a picture of the acupoints in our body. Okay. In the chapter 1, I will introduce the manipulation of acupuncture and acupuncture. Now in clinic, we use some Philippine needle. The Philippine needle can be divided into 5 parts: the tail, the handle, the foot, the body, and the tip. First, we should insert the needle. Now we use some pipe to help insert the needle. The pipe is used about 5 millimeters long. They are shorter than the needle. If we insert the needle, then we will remove the pipe. So it's easy to insert the needle. The direction of insert the needle we are divided into three different degrees. The first one is perpendicular. We insert the needle perpendicularly. In most acupoints, we will insert the needle perpendicularly. And sometimes we will insert the needle obliquely. For example, the acupoint is near the joint, or the muscle is very thick. And on the face, we will insert the needle horizontally. After insert the needle, then we will do the manipulation. First, we will lifting and thrusting. We hold the needle with the thumb and index finger of the right hand. Then push the needle in and out continuously. This is a lifting and thrusting manipulation. Or we can do the twirling after insert the needle in the desired depth. We will rotate it clockwise and counterclockwise continuously. Pay attention, don't rotate in the same direction. We should rotate clockwise way and counterclockwise way. Here is a mean manipulation of the needle. Then I will introduce moxibustion. The moxibustion therapy is use some Chinese herb. We usually use moxia. We burn the moxia and sometimes about the acupoint of the body. If the patient was afraid of needle, we usually use the moxibustion to treat the disease. Here is a moxia. The moxia leaves will pick up in spring, then under the sunshine, it will dry, then smash it to make the making to the moxia core and moxia stick. Sometimes we use the moxia corn about the slice of ginger. We cut the ginger into small slice, then put the moxia corn about the ginger. And another one is we use the garlic. Also, we can cut the garlic into small slice, put the moxia corn about the garlic. And here is a moxibustion with salt. First, cover the salt on the eggplant, then ignite the moxibustion, moxia corn. Here's the moxia stick. We will put the moxia leaves in the paper, then make the stick, burn the stick about the skin, about the eggplant to ignite. Here's the moxibustion with warming needle. With the needle returned in the point, we will place a 1.5 centimeter long moxie stick on the needle, then ignite the stick to warm the needle and the local skin. We also use some moxia burner. Here is a moxia burner. We put the moxia leaves into the burner, then ignite about the skin. There's another tools. For example, the moxia box. Put the moxia stick in the box, then burn and fix it on the body. Here's another therapy, the cupping method. We use some fire cupping and air drawing cupping. Put the jaws on the skin, then draw the air or ignite the aircon cotton ball inside the jar, then put the cups or put the jar on the skin. Then our skin will turn red. After 5 minutes, we will remove the cup. And on the skin will turn red. And here is a picture of the moving cupping. First, we will put some oil or cream on the skin, then put the cup. Then along the meridian, we will move the cup. So that's all today, not today, or my lecture. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Tu. So, student, if you have any question, you can type in the chat box.
So one question, after stroke, then the eyes, the vessel of the eyes,有没有副作用？The one question after stroke, the eyes, the vessel of the eyes is blocked. Okay, you can use the acupuncture. Yes, you can use. But it practice 1 month treatment. You can select the egg point near the eyes, for example, the Jingming point, the Chuanzhu point, Qiuhou point, and other point located on the hand, for example, Hehu point, Taicong point. The next question is the acupuncture can be effective in short time. Yeah, sometimes if the functional this, it will in a short time it will be effective and no side effects. And another question. Acupuncture can relieve the pain of the back pain. Yeah, can treat the back pain. Next question is acupuncture be better integrated with Western medicine? Yeah. We can integrate it with Western medicine. For example, sometimes we treat after stroke. Stroke will according to the Western medicine. According to the, for example, we will do the manipulation of the hand. Next question, does the acupuncture will not hurt, but the patient will definitely will feel pain. We will insert the needle, then put the needle in the egg point for half an hour, then remove the needle. Okay, if the patient is a child, sometimes we insert the needle quickly, then remove the needle quickly. Okay. Can talk to you again.
Okay, so if there is no more question, then I'll end this session. Dr. Tu, can we have a group photo first before you leave? Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Tu, for these exciting sharing sections. So I believe our students have learned a lot from you. So once again, thank you very much. And also thank you, student who joined this session. Dear student, please kindly turn on your camera for the group photo session. Okay, so I'll take the first page. Okay, ready? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. Okay, going to page 2. So once again, give me a thumbs up. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm going to page 3. So once again, okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1. Okay, done. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Tu, for these exciting sharing sessions. So next, let's welcome Miss Chen Wen-Si. She's presenting clinical application of acupuncture and moxibustion. So Miss Chen Wen-Si is the TCM physician of the second affiliated hospital from Manzo Medical University. So let us welcome Miss Chen Wen-Si.
Hello，好像不是这个我在想，我这边会不会看不见这上面？要顺便去打个疫苗。要身份证的，身份证没带啊？要身份证吗？要啊，我没带身份证。今天特地出门的时候想了一下，把身份证带上。今天是最后一天，要打的话等明年了。你去问一下，要不然没身份证可不可以录入？这样哦，那我问一下。今天是最后一天了，然后就是明年年后的事情，那我都会去的。
Miss Chen Wen-Si, if you are ready, you can straight away start, yeah?
这里是可以弄的，可以直接这里开始了。Okay, it's me again. There are some students that haven't seen me yet. My name is Chen Wen-Si, TCM physician of our department, rehabilitation department. And today I talk about the clinical application of acupuncture and moxibustion. And first of all, how to say that? According to WHO, in 1979, there are 43 suggested diseases that is suggested to use acupuncture to treat that kind of disease. And in 1996, it's added to 54. And in 2002, I have to say that in 1979, 40% of the disease that is suggested is about allergic using, and until the 1996, it tending to treat some functional disorder. And in 2002, and we find, not we find, the WHO find our acupuncture also is official to some internal disorder, including 4 categories and 107 kind of diseases, including some internal disease, traumatology disease, gynecology disease, and pediatric remain. But this kind of other kind of disease remain to be proven that the effective. And according to our traditional Chinese medicine, our traditional indication, including 60 categories and 461 clinical applications, and this part still remains we and you. We said we should prove that it's efficient, and including the neurology and the psychiatry and the respiratory, digestion, gynecology, blood circulation, the methodology, all kinds of different kind of diseases. And because there are so much diseases, we can use the acupuncture to treat it. So it's very hard for me to use only 14 minutes to, conclude all kinds of disease. So today I talk about this class through the way how we choose different acupoints, and we have a variety of treatment methods, and how can we choose it. First of all, the very simple part for you to learn the acupuncture is through meridians and collaterals, and this part has been introduced by Dr. Tu. And this acupuncture is a very simple way to learn through meridians and collaterals, but sometimes it's very hard when you want to have a deep learning and want to applicate it into clinic. And also we can, after we learn the meridians and the collaterals, through different kind of differentiation method, we can know how to choose and what kind of method we can use into the clinic, such as, TCM. The TCM, we said the differentiations means treatment according to different kind of methods through looking, listening, smelling, asking, and feeling the pulse to collect all of the information of the symptoms and the signs, and find what kind of disease is that patient, and what is the pattern is that patient, and we find the pathogenesis, etiology, location, condition of pathogenicity, and healthy. Then we choose different ways too. And there are also so many different ways of the differentiation method, such as the 8 principle syndrome differentiation, the differentiation through Qi, blood, and the body fluid, and also visceral syndrome differentiation, and the 6 meridian pattern identification, and the defensive Qi construction and blood pattern identification, and the syndrome differentiation of triple energizer, and also the very simple part for us is the meridian and collateral differentiations. If you want to go further learning about the application of acupuncture, you also can try to learn about the time. We also have a very specific traditional treatment method called the 子午流注. If translated, it means the meridian flow, or we said the streaming theory, or we call it the midnight noon afterflow theory. So things very hard to understand, so we put a very single disease as an example, the common headache, because we know that in 1979, there are so many diseases that suggested by WHO, and 40% is allergic using. So the headache maybe is a very good example. For the headache attack sometimes related to wind exopathogens to TCM. We called feng, we call it wind. 头风 means head wind. And the location is on the head. And according to meridian and collaterals, it's related to 3 hand yang and the 3 foot yang meridians, and also the governor vessel. And the pathogenesis is maybe because of the disharmony between qi and the blood and the obstruction of the vessels. And sometimes maybe it's the malnutrition of the brain cause the headache. And in Western medicine, it's such as the migraine, tension headache, hypertension causes the headache, or disease on the eye and related to the headache. All kinds of disease will cause the headache. And we said there's we said meridian and collaterals are very easy way for you to start to learn about acupuncture and the understanding of the disease and the relationship between the meridians. And we can see there are 3 hand yang, we said, and the 3 foot yang goes to the head, and another is the governor vessel, but there have the only one in meridians goes to the head. And let's come to see the picture. That's the hand yang meridian. It's the stomach meridian. You can see it starts from the second finger, the index finger, and go around the lateral side and the external side of the upper limbs, and it goes upward and then to the head. And also for the foot yang means stomach, the stomach meridian, it starts from the toe and goes on the lateral side and on the lower limbs, and it goes to the trunk, then reaches the frontal and the lateral side of the head. And for the Shaoyang meridian, you can see the hand Shaoyang, Sanjiao, or we said the trigeminal energizer meridians goes on the lateral sides. Lateral, external, and the middle side of the upper limbs, and it goes to the shoulder, then ends on the lateral, or we say the temporal side of the head. And for the foot Shaoyang, gallbladder meridians also starts from the toe and then goes on the lateral side of the lower limbs, and it goes to the lateral side of the trunk, and then ends also on the temporal side of the head. So if you see that the contribution of the different meridians, sometimes you have some ideas come to your mind that maybe I can use the Shaoyang meridians to cure migraine, because you can see the contribution of the meridians are all located on the temporal side of the head. That's right. That's a very good idea. And then you can see the Taiyang meridian. The Taiyang small intestine meridians starts from the little toe and goes on the posterior and the lateral external side of the upper limbs, and goes to the shoulder, and then reaches on the face, on the cheek part and the internal eye corner. And also, now you can see the foot Taiyang urine bladder meridian also starts from on the foot, and goes on the posterior side of the lower limbs, and goes on the back of the trunk, and then you can see that goes to the neck, and goes on the back of the head, and curves around to the front. So if somebody stay awake until very night, you can see the head wind. The outside external with that exopathogens wind will first attack the Taiyang meridian, that's the foot Taiyang meridian. So you will feel very back pain on the head, back pain. And this one is the only meridian or in meridian that goes to the head. It's the foot drain liver meridians. It goes from the foot and goes on the internal side of the lower limbs and goes to the trunk. You can see the main meridians just ends around the liver, but the inside it have branches, goes upward and to the vertex of the head. So if a patient comes to you and said,
That's very weird. I always feel very painful on the vertex of the head. That's a drain headache. So that's a summarize of the different meridians and the headache. You can have a look about that. So that's a very simple way for you to remember. You just need to remember the contribution of the different meridians and the location of the head, and you can find which meridian is the headache belongs to, and you can choose this the acupoint on this meridian. Then another part is through differentiation. According to anti-pathogenesis and pathogenesis. We said all kinds of reasons can cause the headache. The first one is the exogenous headache, mostly because of wind. And the wind will combine with the cold, heat, and dampness. And also, if it's wind cold, the patient may have the patterns to aversion the wind, but he feels not thirsty. And you can see the coat, the tongue coating is thin white coating, and you feel the pulse is the floating and the high pulse. That's a wind coat attacked by the outside. And if it's with the heat, with the wind heat, it maybe have a swelling feeling on the head and have fever, thirsty, that desire to drink, and yellow urine and yellow tongue coating. And if it's with the dampness, the wind dampness, maybe the patient feel headache, like he have a covered feeling in the head, and very heavy feeling of the limbs. And if you see the tongue, it's greasy white coating and with a soft pulse. And also the headache may be caused by the internal injury, and mostly is the hyperreactivity of liver ion, especially the patient with hypertension. It will have swelling feeling on the head, and the patient is irritable with red face, bitter taste in the mouth, red tongue with yellow coating, wiry and rapid pulse. And if it's because of the phlegm, it will have muddled head, stuffy feeling in the chest, vomiting, and greasy white coating, slippery pulse. And if it's the stagnated blood, maybe the patient mostly have a trauma history, be attacked on the head, and it will have a fixed and stabilized pain with dark tongue and the thin and uneven pulse. And also, that's kind of these three patterns we call is the excess disease. And you see this patient maybe have a good body condition, but he have attacked by the pathogens and cause the disease because of excess. But if the patient is a weak body condition, itself have kidney deficiency cause the headache, and then it may have a sore waist and knee, dizziness, vertigo, fatigue. If it's a man, it may be correspond with the spermaturia, and with red tongue but less coating, thin and weak pulse. And if it's a blood deficiency, it may also have vertigo, fatigue. But if you see the face, it's a lustreless face, and the patient will get worse after hard working. And you can see the tongue is a pale tongue and the thin and weak pulse. So, how to distinguish between these two? First, if it's the exogenous headache, it may be quickly onset because attacked by the wind, and suddenly you feel headache, and it's a short course of the disease. But if it's internal injury, it may be have very slowly onset, despite the blood stagnation, okay, and after the trauma, and then maybe you can have a long course of disease. So how to choose pain? Well, when we want to cure patient according to use the acupuncture, we should follow this. What we talk now is about the very traditional way to treat despite other kind of treatment methods. If you use a very traditional way of acupuncture to treat the disease, you should follow that principle. First, what kind of disease it is. Then find the main point. And then according to the different conditions and the different patterns, we choose different correspond with that assistant acupoint. So the first one, for the axial headache, we said attacked by outside, no matter it's the wind cold, wind heat, and wind dampness. We choose this 4 acupoint as a main point. Means if it is an axial headache, you should choose this 4 acupoint. First is the 列缺, the lung 7 is a locate. You can see a locate 1.5 cun about the wrist crease on the lateral side. And if you want to have a simple way to find it, just put your thumb and the index finger and cross together, and then you find the end of the index finger is the 列缺, the lung 7. And then another point is 百会. 百会 is the governor vessel number 20. It's located in the middle of the head. When you cover, if you curse your ear to, and you find the apex of the ear, and you draw a line between the 2 apex, and you find the crossing point of this line and the back middle line, you can find this point. It's the 百会, we call the governor 20. And another one, 分池, is the gallbladder 20. Gallbladder 20, it's an easy way for you to find, first to find your sternocleidomastoid muscle, and you use your thumb to push along this muscle, and when you reach the end of the muscle and feel the bone, that's a gallbladder 20. That's the only easy way for you to find it. If you have further learning about acupuncture, you can much easier to find it. And another one is extra point, we call the 太阳. It's a locate beside the external corner of the eye. It's the extra point head and neck number 5. That's a main point for axial headache. So what's the assistant point? Then, if according to meridians and collaterals, we said a very easier way for you to find. It's the frontal headache. According to meridian and the collateral, we said it's a Yang Ming headache, and you can choose Yin Tang, or we call it the extra point headache neck number 3, or we said the governor vessel number 29. Why have 2 numbers? Because before 2006, this point is considered as the actual point. But after 2006, the acupuncture is the same. This point is located in the middle on the governor vessel, and also has a similar treatment. Why is not the regular acupoint? So it comes back to the regular acupoint. So that's 印堂穴, and also you can choose the 头位穴 stomach 8, and the 内庭穴 stomach 44, 阳白穴 the gallbladder 14, 合谷穴 large intestine 4. That's for frontal headache, or we call the yang mi headache. And if it's a migraine, we said it's on the temporal side of the headache, right? So we always choose the 少阳 meridians. So it's we call, first you can choose extra point 太阳. Extra head and neck number 5, and you choose 帅骨 gallbladder, 这个少阳 meridian, 帅骨 gallbladder 8, and the 外观三焦, or we said trigeminal anodyner number 5, 头位 stomach 8, and the 足灵气 gallbladder 41. That's for migraine. And if it's occipital headache on the back, you can choose the 天柱 bladder 10. And the 分府 governor vessel number 16, and the 后溪 small intestine 3, 大椎 governor number 14, and the 生脉 bladder 61. That's the occipital headache. And it's the periaxial headache, we said the vertex headache. You can choose the extra point. Now head and neck number 1, we call 四神中, is located 1 cun in front, backward, left, and the right to the governor vessel number 20. And this is a very special extra point. And also you choose 通天 bladder 7, 太冲 liver 3, and the 内关 pericardium 6. So that's for the meridians. And then if it's according to the differentiation, we said is isopathogens. You can choose the assistant point according to the differentiation. If the patient you consider as a wind cold, you can choose the bladder 12, we call Funman as the for assist. And if it's the wind heat, you can choose last intestine 11 and Qu Chi and the Da Zhui governor vessel number 14. These two endpoints are very effective to heat disease, heat syndrome. So, and then if it's a wind dam, we choose Yinling Slovene 9. And this point is good at to, how to say, wipe out the dampness and to supply the spleen, supply the deep spleen. So that's a differentiation. Then if it's an endo headache and it's excessive, we choose Bai Hui as well. And then Tou Wei, stomach 8. This point rotates half turn upon the front hairline and the 4.5 turn away from the front midline. And if you want to easier way to find it, you can find your corner of the front hairline, and that's where it locates. That's a 头围穴. And then 风池 as well. And if you, according to differentiation, if you consider the liver yang hyperreactivity, you can choose Tai Si because Tai Si is the in meridian of kidney, and if you choose this one, you can tolerate the water and calm down the fire. I don't know if you have learned about the TCM and can understand what I say. And Tai Si kidney 3, and the Xia Xi gallbladder 43, and Tai Chong liver 3. And this assistant point is to tolerate the water and calm down the fire at the same time. And if it's a phlegm, we choose Fenlong stomach 40. This point is extremely efficient for all kinds of phlegm disease, no matter it's a phlegm on your throat, phlegm on your abdomen, or you feel sometimes we think that sometimes overweight is because you have a phlegm condition of body, and you also can use the stomach 40 to lose weight. And then you can choose Tai Ya, heart and neck, number 5, and Yinling Quan. At this point, spleen 9, I have introduced to you, is to tonify the spleen and wipe out the dam. And if it's a dampness, if it is a blood stagnation, we chose Shuhai, spleen 10. This point is good at to treat blood disease, all kinds of blood disease, blood deficiency, blood heat, all kinds of blood disease. Also, the Geshu bladder 17. This point is called one of the 8 influential points. The influential point of blood. Also, these 2 points are good at to treat blood disease. Then we choose Nei Guang pericardium 6. Recommends to calm down the mind because we said the blood stagnation. Also, if you find the pulse, you can find uneven pulse, right? To calm down the mind. And then if it's a deficient endo headache, you can choose first Bai Hui as well. Then you choose Feng Chi gallbladder 20, and then another different point is the Zhu Sanli stomach 36. This point rotates on the lateral side of the lower limb, 3 turn below the stomach 35, and 2 finger gaps away from the tibia bone, the tip of the tibia bone. And that's the endo for the, and if it's a blood deficiency, you can choose San Yao spleen 6, Geshu bladder 18, Ganshu bladder 18, and Pishu bladder 20 as an assistant point. And if it's a kidney deficiency, you can choose Tai Si kidney 3 because this point is a yuan point. We said yuan point is to tonify its own organs. Kidney 3 and the Shenshu bladder 23 and the Xuanzhong gallbladder 39. And the gallbladder 39 is also one of the 8 influential points. and the inferential point of marrow, so it's connected to the kidney, Then we can find how to choose acupoints. First is that if it's a pen, I should say, because only for pen disease. If it's a pen disease, you can first find the acupoint. What is acupoint? Or we translate into, yes, when you press this point, the patient will extremely painful and it will, yes, this point, okay, acupoint. And then point along the meridian is very simple way to find what's the location of the pen, and which meridian distribute to this area. And according to excess and deficiency, we can choose different reinforcing and reducing techniques on the acupoint. And then sometimes if it's a cold, we can combine with the moxibustion, especially when it's a wind, coldness, and dampness. That's for the headache, and sometimes also it's also used on other kind of pen disease. And the effect on meridians, we can have the improvement of qi and the blood flow and collection of the zang functions. So the last class will ask the doctor to whether the acupuncture only have a short effective effects on short time, but don't have a longer time. But if it's a functional disorder, through acupuncture, we collection the zang functions, and the effective work will last longer. And what I talk about the common headache today, it's all about the acupuncture of the filiform needle, or we say the traditional ways to cure of the acupuncture. It's just one of the treatment, not all. And that picture is showing you what is the filiform needle. And then we have much more kind of different treatment methods, especially the acupuncture. And that's another techniques we will use. Also, use the headache as an example. If you have occipital headache, you can choose the occiput 83 area. And if it's a forehead headache, you can choose the 81. And also you can choose the subcortex 84, Shenmen, TF4 to calm down the mind. And also choose the sympathetic nerve AH6A. That's have a brief look at the different kind of area of the ear needle. And for the ear needle, 卡住了. Sorry, it's a step. 好了, okay. And for the ear needle, you can choose different kind of techniques to stimulate the ear acupoint. You can through regular needle, what we call the filiform needle, and also you can choose we said some special traditional Chinese herbs and seeds, we call the cowboy seeds, and also you can choose the magnet ball, and to press the local area. And other techniques such as that's a 3-edged needle. If it's a hyperreactivity of the liver young and cause the blood hypertension and cause the headache, you can use the 3-edged needle and to cut on the apex of the ear, and also for the nerve runners on the back of the ear, and to let it bleeding a bit, and then you can release the pain and lower down the blood pressure. And also you can use the skin acupuncture. That's a blunt person, because the needle you can see on the end of the needle, it's just like It's just like a blunt blossom. And it attack and puncture mainly the area where headache appears in the neck and also sometimes on the head. But before you do the skin acupuncture, you must sterilize before manipulation. And for this kind of skin acupuncture, we always cap the area until it to be a local flush. Sometimes it may be bleeding a little bit, not much. And also you can use the Chinese massage treatment, also belongs to the acupuncture. Then rub the face with Chupang, then rub the neck and the nape area for about 40 minutes, and spread the 10 finger mildly and come backward mildly and slowly. And then starting from the temporal area. And also you can use the digital press around the different acupoints to stimulate the acupoints. And that's another kind of techniques for headache. And we also have different kind of tools, such as this one is we call the pastel needle. The pastel needle, the left side is a pastel needle. And the pastel needle is a very easier way to use because this kind of needle don't insert into the skin. So it will not feel such hurt. And it's much easier for patient to accept. And you use a different kind of manipulation method on the acupoint and to achieve the treatment effect. And the right side is the fire needle. But the fire needle is sometimes seems very dangerous because you should put that needle on fire and still and then insert into the acupoint. And this fire needle is for some disease that is very, very hard to cure, very, very hard to cure, and chronic disease. And this part is good at to stop the pain. And also we can use cupping. Cupping have just introduced by Dr. Chu already. And also you can use the moxibuction, including all kinds of different ways to use the moxibuction. And also we have another technique is the embedding needle. Embedding needle is the how to say pipe-like needle. It's empty inside, and when you insert into the acupoint and through the empty inside, we insert into some obstacle lines, obstacle strings, and remain the string in the acupoint, and so that it can have a continuous stimulating effort on the acupoint. So this method also is to cure very hard, that disease is hard to cure and chronic disease. Also, we can use it to lose weight and for asthma, all kinds of different using. And we also have different kinds of theory about acupuncture. We said there's 神阙穴 or we said the umbilicus is refused to needle inside. But there's a very special theory we call the belly needle. Belly needle, it seems the belly as the Taiji is a Bagua geography map. And and the different directions have different functions. And using the Philippine needle and go start from the belly and to the different directions of the geography map and to cure disease. So it's a very unique theory. And also the scalping needle don't use the acupoints of the traditional acupoints. It uses different kind of lines located in the head. And it's a modern acupuncture. It's a modern acupuncture. So this theory is well used in the disease with a cerebral vascular disease. And also some doctors found, despite we said the regular 361 acupoints and other action points, he finds other kind of acupoint. It's about more than 700 acupoints, and he can summarize into a series called Dong's Unique Extraordinary Points Acupuncture Therapy. And I don't suggest you to learn it, but you just have to know about it. So acupuncture, traditional acupuncture theory is not the only way for you to consider how to cure disease. And also we said the time treatment. Time treatment is very complicated. It's not only about the time, not only about the meridian. It should consider when the meridian qi flow on the body, and different day, different week, different year, and different the environment, the qi flows on different part of the body. So he used a very unique theory for you to find the flowing qi and to choose the different acupoints to open the qi, and then you can achieve better treatment effect. This one seems very complicated, and if we use into simple one, that's a very simple one to understand, but in clinic use is not enough. Such as we call it 子时, means start from the 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. The meridian qi will flow through the gallbladder, and to 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. it flows to liver and go one by one. Just to have an easy understanding for you. But with a streamer C series is not such simple. So that's what I want to say today. Thank you.
So thank you, Ms. Chen Wensi. So student, if you have any question, you can type in the chat box.
Acupuncture and maxification can suitable for most of the patients. Especially the acupuncture is a very evenly treatment method. But if we for the patient, but the acupuncture, you know, we don't just don't like the surgeon. We will to cut down something better issues from the body, or we just like Western herbs, we put into something into the body. The acupuncture just stimulates on the acupoint and to activate its own function. So if the patient is very, very weak body condition, sometimes we can't activate its own meridian or collateral to have a good function fast. So in ancient times, the acupuncture not only just the single using on clinic, we will cooperate with the traditional Chinese herbs. So if you consider that, you can see if the patient is very, very weak, hard to suffer the acupuncture, you should not use the acupuncture singly. And for the maxification, it have a good effect for the wind, damp, and cold. But if the patient have a heat body condition, or if they have insufficiency caused the heat, also it's not that it can't use the maxification as well. Yes, for the diabetes, we do a lot of patients on the clinic. We use the acupuncture on the diabetes, but we don't use the maxification because maxification is a very, you should burn fire on the maxa and to heat on the local area. And for the diabetes, sometimes it maybe hurt the skin and cause the ulcer, and it's hard to cure. But for the acupuncture, after extremely sterilized in the local area, we still can use the acupuncture, and we can benefit, we can regular the how to say uncorrected dynamic relationship to cure the diabetes. Cervical spondylopathy, yes. And for cervical spondylopathy, maxification is to actually activate the local blood circulation, I should say that. and it can activate the blood circulation and also can release the edema and also can release the pain. So it's good for the spondylopathy. And also in clinic, we use a lot, use it on a lot of the patients. How to relieve migraine with traditional Chinese medicine, especially in children. Children, actually, I should say, children is very hard to cure no matter what kind of method. But also, if it's you know, migraine in children is weird. It's seldom seen in children, but we still can needle in this part. According to what I say, you can choose according to meridian and collateral. We choose the Shaoyang meridians, and also you can check according to differentiation what kind of pattern is the patient, and you choose. Also use the same ways to choose the acupoint. And if the patient, if the children is sometimes very, refuse to, is worried about the acupoint, and you can see the needle and it starts to cry. You can choose the ear needle, but don't use it, use the pressing seed, the pressing seed, but not on the ear, and you can use on the normal, regular acupoint, and to reduce the hurts, and the patient may be much more acceptable. Yes, migraine is very, I should say, for headache and migraine. But acupuncture do a lot of other doctors do a lot of trials and a lot of research about how to cure the migraine. You just need to go to a normal acupuncture clinic and search for help. It's very helpful. And if you have a chronic pain on the migraine on your head, and you can try to use the electroacupuncture. The electric can have good treatment effect to calm down the pain, to release the pain. And 好了吗？For peripheral neuropathy, the very classic peripheral neuropathy is facial palsy. You know that facial palsy is the main patient in our clinic. So it's effective. I should say that. So that's all.
So student, do you still have any other question that you wanted to ask? So if no question, then I will end this session. Okay, so thank you very much, Ms. Chen, for this exciting sharing session. So I believe our students have learned a lot from you. So once again, thank you very much. And also thank you, students who participate in this session. So now all students, please kindly turn on the camera for the group photo session. Yeah. Okay, so I'll take the first page. So all students, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, ready in 3, 2, 1. Okay, give me a minute. Okay, I'm going to page 2. So once again, give me a thumbs up. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to page 3. So once again, ready in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, I'm going to page 4. Okay, ready in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, Ms. Chen, for this exciting sharing session, and also thank you, students who participate today's sessions. Okay, so and before we leave this session, we announce that the session will start again next week Saturday, 9 a.m. Okay, we are using the same link to be announced. Okay, so remember to join again. Okay, and hope to see you all next week. Okay, thank you. Stay home, stay safe, and goodbye.